Good evening guys, and welcome to another EVE Online video. Tonight we're continuing our Stratios combat site series in Angel Space. You'll see I'm cloaked up in low sec at the moment because we're going to be doing the Angel Rally Point today. Excuse me. I'll start just by going through the fit. Those of you that are new to the channel, we're doing this for you. If you've already been watching this series, then feel free to skip through a couple of minutes. But here's the fit. So obviously you've got the CovOps cloaking device 2. The purpose of this fit, to explain a couple of these things, is to be self-sustaining in wormhole space essentially, but anywhere in space. But wormhole space, if you're not aware, there are no NPC stations or anything, so yeah, it's unlikely you're going to be able to dock up anywhere and repair your drones or repair your ship. So we have the co-op cloaking device 2, we have the small remote armor repairer 2 in the high slot as well. That's to repair our drones without needing to dock. We've got the core probe launchers, our Ghost Sisters, drone link augmenter 2, and salvager. Afterburner 2, 10 meganewtons, just for a bit of speed. Omnidirectional tracking link and range script to help our drones have better range. Target painter 2s. This is to increase the. I don't think it impacts your drone's ability to hit necessarily, but it increases the what's known as like your danger rating, which determines how likely you are to receive aggro from the enemy rats, and therefore like to keep them off your drones. That's why I've got the target painter on the ship, and 2 cap recharger 2s to keep that capacitor stable. If this is switched off, we're cap stable. 2 energized adaptive nanomembrane 2s for the Omni tank in the armor. Armor rep 2 medium. Drone damage amplifier 2 self-explanatory, and power diagnostic systems 2. And in the rigs, armor reps again, armor rigs, anti-explosive pump 2, auxiliary nanopump 2, and nanopump 1. And that's the fit. This is obviously a drone ship. We have, this is the expensive part, is we've got a couple of geckos in here. They do the bulk of our damage. In Angel Space I carry some Warrior 2s for frigates, especially elite frigates, but I would normally have hobgoblins as well for if I were to do a drone site or something. These are Ecm drones, just so if you get in a spot bother and you get warp scrammed, hopefully you can use them to just escape, and salvage drones for picking up some loot afterwards. So that's the fit, guys. Without going into any more detail, we will jump into the site. Space is still empty. Obviously we're in low sec, so you want to keep the D-scan open. Obviously, there you go, so that's unfortunate timing. But so we'll just stop as we warp in and keep an eye on whether or not Paranoid Alt does anything. The other thing I keep forgetting to add to my ship at the moment. Oh, don't decloak me. We landed way too close. Time to burn away. That's very annoying. So we're going to have to get straight into this, which I didn't want to, and take out the sentries. Still keeping an eye on D-scan. He's gone, so we're good. Alright, so we're going to burn away and then orbit at what should we orbit? Yeah, I'm going to orbit them at 30 gate. And now I'm going to turn everything else on. Target painter, script. As I didn't start as smoothly as I would have liked, because we'd got dropped right on the enemy, which is unfortunate. Right, so just quickly, first things have been, there's 4 sentries. There were 2 Angel Heavy Missile batteries and 2 Tower Sentry Angels. So we take them out with our heavy. You can see how quickly the geckos get through these things. Massive damage. And then we will take out everything else. We will see if we can get rid of the frigates with our geckos. See what happens. If we miss them, we'll just swap them out. But what I was saying is I keep forgetting to put the MTU, Mobile Tractor Unit, in my cargo hold, which ideally would be pulling in the wrecks and things. So I'm not going to scoop up the loot here unless a pirate faction ship spawns. So this is just a site demo. But basically, you see we had no problem getting rid of the first frigate, but now we might struggle if I can get a better sight of the text. At the moment, they're not even attacking, so let's move over there. That's better. So Angel Rally Point, I should have said at the start, is I think so it goes Angel Hideaway, Angel Burrow, Angel Refuge, Angel Den, Angel, what was the last video we did? Was the Den, I believe, and then Angel Rally Point is next after Dens. No, Yard, Angel Yard, and then Angel Rally Point. So we're getting quite a long way down the list now, and this Stratios fit is still able to pull these off without too much hassle. I think there'll be a battleship spawn towards the end, so that's worth keeping an eye on, just because it takes a little while to take them out. Obviously keep an eye on your drone health. They're possibly picking up aggro. But so yeah, this fit is capable of running pretty high level sites. So rally point is, yeah, it was 7 or 8, because you've only then got like port and 1 or 2 more above this in nullsec. We want to keep an eye on that, very much so. He's been killing someone, looting something he shouldn't. We're a long way from any gate, so they'd need to warp to us through this system. So here, Arch are the elite frigates. We just got to keep an eye on those. They might do some damage to our drones, and we do not want to lose our geckos. They are very expensive. I shouldn't have pulled him off that. Okay, he's gone again, so we're back to being safe temporarily. See, so the geckos, even against elite frigates, are doing some decent damage. And also I mentioned in the Yard video, I believe, that at this level the bounty starts to be more worthwhile, so these sites become a bit more profitable than the high second ones, obviously, as you'd expect them to be. But you know, this is worth 25,000, these are 75,000 a pop. If you get a battleship, that could be up to sort of 500,000 to 1 million. So by the time you've run the whole site, that's 5 or 6 million just for 10-15 minutes. Still not huge money. You can make more money more quickly elsewhere, but you know, you run these, you can get escalations. That's where some big money is. But obviously, unfortunately, if you get an escalation from any of these sites, they are very hard, and at least I can't, in this fit, I cannot successfully run one of those. I'd be popped very quickly. I have tried. I think I got an escalation from a Yard, and I just popped. It was an expensive mistake to make, but I wanted to find out what the limitations of the ship were. And yeah, that was one of them. So we're just pootling around now, just clearing up, there you go. Just a couple of 2 more frigates and then a couple of battle cruisers worth 150 each. So the loot racks up. The bounty, not loot. The bounty racks up. But the DPS isn't too bad. They're not doing too much. Partly because of the range. So we'll be coming in close to them now, which is we should play it more sensibly and not orbit straight at them like we are. But I've got faith in my tank, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, like I said, there's not really much point pulling in the loot unless you get an elite frigate, or if you're trying to really min-max what's going on, you can spend the time salvaging. Tends to be quite good if you're going to do some building work. You know, if you want to manufacture some rigs, then the salvage is worth getting. So getting through these a bit slower than I'd like. I think this drone doesn't really appear to be responding very much. That one's doing something. That's better. But yeah, you can see we're way too close now. Like we're in there, inside their optimal range, and the tank's still just fine. So a couple more waves after this one, I believe. We've still got the battleship at some point. But basically you can see there's not really any real problems. You can just skip through it, nice and easy, keeping an eye on D-scan, but local is most important. And all the time, there's no one in local, there's no one to D-scan. So I have been doing a series alongside this more recently on planetary interaction because one of my viewers put a comment asking if I could do a series on a bit of a tutorial for Planet PI. A couple of videos into that now. So if you are interested in PI yourself, go check that out. But also I'm willing to do videos on more or less anything other than PvP. I'm not a PvP pilot, not very good at that. I'm too nervous, bit of a Care Bear. But if it's industry or yeah, anything industry based, anything PvE based, mission running, anything like that, if you would like to see a video or tutorial on it or anything, please let me know in the comments. Happy to give anything a go, especially if there's people that want to see it. That's why I do this, to be informative and to help other players out in the game. Also feel free to message me in game if you've got any questions or anything you want to talk about. Obviously you can see I'm here on Board Enderas. It's also my YouTube name. And yeah, if you're a newer player or an experienced player and you want to just shoot me a message in game, feel free. Similarly, you can see a corporation called Wad Squad. I will be in future recruiting, I believe. At the moment I can't dedicate enough time to the game to put a proper recruitment drive into running a corporation. But if you're a player that's pretty independent and just wants a safe place to fly around with the occasional bit of conversation and assistance, feel free to hit me up and put in an application. Be happy to have you on board. So this wave was 4 battle cruisers. Again, no problem with the tank, or they've been at good range, and our geckos have just whipped through them. No problems at all. And again, 150 pop. So this wave, 600,000. Nice and quick. I love when we go. We've been doing the site now for about 11-12 minutes, and what have we got? Cruiser, they're too far away. 1, 2. Oh, these are elite cruisers, so they're worth $250,000 each, and they might be a bit more difficult to pick off. So you can see the damage is much lower. Their tanks still not brilliant. I mean, their armor and their shield resistances will be good, which is why the damage is low. But they don't have much shielding, so you can still just get through it. There's not been any E-War so far, so you don't have to really worry about any of that. None of the pirates are gonna scram you, or you might get muted. I think is possible at some of these sites, but not so far in this one. But yeah, like I say, we've been coming up for 13 minutes now or something on this site, and no problems. Getting towards the end, racking up some bounty, 250,000 gone in, another 250,000 there, 3 lots of 150s. So this wave's worth a million on this one wave, 600 on the previous one, and so on. This is wave 5 or 6 now. And if you did want to loot it, you would get 3 or 4 million probably in loot. So with some of the bigger ships, you get some reasonably valuable loot. The trouble is, obviously, it's quite large, so you'd only be able to pick up a couple of sites worth of loot before having to drop it off. You can see we've orbited back into their spawn point again now, so we're really taking some damage. Hopefully I can get rid of this guy, and then we should be able to pick these off pretty quickly without worrying too much about a tank, but we've got to keep an eye on it. Again, like I said, nice thing is cap stable. We've got the afterburner running full time, we've got the repper running full time, and cap is absolutely fine. It only burns out if you have to turn on your drone rep as well. So ideally you don't do that whilst you're in combat, you do that when you go somewhere, find your safe spot, and then rep your drones when you're safe. Yeah, no problems with the tank there. As we push through, take out these battle cruisers nice and quick. So one of the reasons, just in case you're not aware, one of the reasons geckos are so effective and therefore so expensive is they do, you can see here, they do the full spectrum of damage types. So the enemy, you can see, are doing me thermal and kinetic at the moment, and that's explosive. We're dealing all of them, thermal, kinetic, explosive, and EM, with our drones all the time, and that's why geckos are so effective. It doesn't matter which faction you're against, you'll do the same amount of damage. You'll just shred them. Whereas, you know, if I was in Angel Space, I can't remember what the heavy drones are, but I need the Minmatar heavy drones to do the most damage. Are they the Valkyries, perhaps? If I'm in Galente Space or Caldari Space, I think I want the Ogres, and so on. But here I can just have geckos, and they do the most damage in any part of space. And here's the Battleship Wave, so this is probably the last wave. I'm going to take out the battle cruisers and then get to the battleship last. Again, you can see, whoa, domination. Oh no, I'm not. This is quite good. So domination is a pirate spawn, the faction spawn. So that will be, hopefully have some faction loot, which is also why it's worth so much money. So that's 153 on this cruiser. The battleship, which I'm going to take out next, 712, and then you can tell it's pirate because of the bounty. Talking about pirates, talking about pirate booty, because of the bounty, 1.38 million. So that's for a cruiser. So that's going to be the faction leader. So in a battle cruiser as well. So I want to keep my distance from them. Not sure what happened there. So apologies for the blackout. Yeah, I want to keep my distance from him because he might carry some damage. But we'll see. But you can see against the Angel Pirates, their range isn't huge. So he's not even hitting me. The Saint is hitting me, but for very little damage because I'm so far away. So the tank doesn't need to be good. You just need to know how to fly against your opposition. So in this case, in angel space, which is what this video is on, you just want to keep your distance largely. Make sure you're staying out of their primary range. That's the bounty for the first bit of the site. It's 2.7 million coming in. That's for the first few waves. There'll be some more. Obviously this wave in itself is worth just over 2 million. As you see the battleship, it's not that difficult to break the tank. It took a little while, but we're through. We're into the hull. It'll be gone in no time, and we can get started on the faction pirate. So I'm going to keep an eye on him, because at a MTU I'm going to specifically pick up that loot. There's a chance of a decent faction drop. I also sometimes like to go and check out the large wreck as well. If there's only one of them, it doesn't take very long. I'm not going to on this occasion, but this is nice. This doesn't always happen. You can go. The thing is despawned now because we've killed all the pirates except this one, so no one can warp in now. We're essentially in a safe spot. There we go. So that's that gone. So I'm going to open cargo. I'm going to pull my drones in because I don't want them in space any longer than they need to be. They're so expensive. And we'll see if we've got any decent faction loot in here. The other thing is faction wrecks can drop some T2 salvage as well, so they're always worth salvaging just in case. So we'll get them going. Send my drones out, and that's the site, guys. We're just we're flying across as quick as we can to the pirate, see what loot we get. But basically, you saw the sort of bounty we were getting. You saw how easily we dealt with the site. It just takes, what do we get? It takes 20 minutes to run with this fit. The Stratios is an excellent ship, very versatile, and with this fit, you're self-sustaining with strong tank and decent damage. Like I'm yet to come across a better fit, which is nice. This is a bug I've been seeing a lot, and I'm not sure if it's a genuine bug or if it's just for me or whatever, but some faction pirate wrecks my drones won't salvage. Is that a genuine thing? Oh, there we are, look. Afterburner, 10 meganeon afterburner, 80 million. So from this, 80,700,000. Thank you very much. I'm going to pull these in because they're not doing anything, and get my salvager on it instead. So yeah, as I was saying, my drones sometimes, my salvager's not doing it either. You can see the animation isn't coming up, although this time it did say that, so we'll stick with it. But yeah, the animation's not there from my salvager, and it wasn't there from my drones. So when you get an animation from your drones, you don't get the thing here. So you have no idea if you're salvaging it. And I've sat for 10-15 minutes sometimes just waiting, just testing it out, and they never successfully salvage. So I'm probably not going to stick around to do this one either, because I'm in low sec, don't want to be exposed for too long, even though I can see there's no one here. Alright, well, all in all, that was very successful. It's my first YouTube video where there's been a really positive outcome, which is nice for me. We've run the site, you've seen how successfully it can be done, and you've also seen what happens if you get a faction spawn, which are random. It definitely doesn't happen all the time. Don't watch this video and go, oh, excellent, every site I'm going to run I'm going to get 80 million. That's not the case. We got lucky today, but this is why we run them. Every now and again you get an 80 million drop. So that's 20 minutes work, 80 million in the bank. Thank you very much. Obviously, if you don't get the spawn, oh yeah, and nah, nothing worth talking about. If you don't get the spawn, we still maybe made 8 million just running from bounty, and if you pulled in all the loot and salvage, you'd probably get another 5-6 million, so call it up to 15 million. So not to be sniffed at for 20 minutes. Well, with the salvaging it'd be more like half an hour, but this is why you do it. Every now and again you can get 80 million at minimum. I've run a site before where I've had 150 million a couple of times. It's all nice and easy like that. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed it, please subscribe. If you enjoyed watching the video, please give me a like. It really means a lot to get engagement from you guys, and likes and subscriptions and comments really make a difference to my ability to do this for you. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have an excellent night, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.